But I don't like things like that. I think that's awful. Honestly, it's awful.
And what he was looking at was a dog that was so big that it was holding a coyote by its ribcage in its mouth. It was on.
The creature uttered a single word, Gadara. He felt an overwhelming urge that whatever it was that was standing in front of him was not just an animal, but something far more sinister. The dogman sneered, but did not give chase.
Sensitive topics are discussed in this episode. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another creepy cryptid history. I know it's been a while, but mainly this is going to be the membership free merchandise pulling. So I wanted to keep you a little bit entertained, and the membership pulling will be at the very end. Okay, so that's for the free merchandise for members only, but I did want to share a couple of creepy dogman stories that I found on here. Now, our first creepy cryptid history story happened all the way back in 2023. I know it's only been a couple years, but still history, right? It's by Modern Cryptid Encounters. So let's go ahead and give it a listen.
A 2023 dogman encounter from Taylor, Mississippi. Sarah, a 34-year-old woman and nature photographer, had just returned to Taylor to stay with her parents for a few months after a breakup. One of her favorite evening routines was walking the old trail behind the property, which cut through a lightly wooded patch bordering a dense forest near a dry creek bed. She would often walk this trail with her dog, but this time she went alone. She brought her camera and flashlight and left around 6:40 p.m., intending to capture some dusk shots. About 15 minutes into her walk, Sarah began feeling uneasy. She later described the sensation as that thick kind of silence, like when you know something's watching but you can't explain why. She stopped to take a photo of the trail and suddenly noticed crunching leaves behind her, deliberate footsteps, not a squirrel or deer. She turned her flashlight toward the sound and saw nothing. She continued walking. Roughly 5 minutes later, she heard it again, but this time closer and directly to her left. When she turned the flashlight, she caught a brief glimpse of something ducking behind a tree about 20 feet away. She thought it might be a person, but she was miles from the nearest home and hadn't passed another hiker. Then she heard it, this deep, guttural growl, like a wolf, but thicker. It vibrated my chest. It wasn't a dog, and it wasn't a bear. She turned and ran, sprinting the rest of the trail until she hit the clearing behind her parents' home. But it wasn't over. Back inside the house, she sat by the kitchen window, trying to calm down. Jessie, the family dog, was pacing and whining near the door. Then, around 7:15 p.m., just as the last light faded, Sarah looked out and saw it. At the tree line, no more than 50 feet from the house, was a dark, upright figure. It was massive, tall, and thin but muscular. Jet black fur, a dog's head on a man's body. It just stood there, staring at the house. She scrambled to grab her phone but dropped it. When she looked back up, it was gone. Sarah called 911, shaking and nearly in tears. She reported a large animal, possibly rabid, stalking her and now watching the house. The sheriff's office sent a deputy to do a welfare check. He arrived around 8 p.m. and found large, deep tracks in the mud leading along the tree line, but no sign of the animal. The deputy reportedly told her, "We get weird animal reports in this area sometimes. Just don't go walking alone out there anymore." No official report was filed, but Sarah documented her experience in writing the same night. She later sent it, along with a voicemail from the deputy and photographs of the prints, to a local Mississippi cryptid researcher. Sarah refused to walk that trail again after that day.
I don't blame her for that. I wouldn't go walking out there by myself anymore either. That is really, really creepy. What did y'all think about that story? Let me know in the comments. Now this one says, a haunting encounter with Dogman, and it's by Sunday Cool.
You've done a film on the Dogman, right?
Yeah. The story is that this kid, 15 years old, going coon hunting in the Kentucky Daniel Boone National Forest. He was with his grandfather. His grandfather was so old that he couldn't get out of the truck to go hunting with him. They had radios. They let the dogs go. They had 2 hunting dogs, Jake and Bo. Jake was the older dog, and then Bo was a new dog that Jake was training. The dogs take off. They have a scent, and he's tracking. And you can hear there's these coyotes coming in, and they start fighting his dogs. And Bo, the younger dog, he said you could hear Bo yep and then run away. So So he's trying to get there, and all of a sudden he hears Jake come back, and the fight changes. These coyotes run off. He arrives on the scene. He pats Jake on the head, and Bo, he's on the other side of the tree. And so he hears Bo on the other side, and it sounds like he's eating a coyote. And when he comes around the tree, he realizes that Bo never came back. And what he was looking at was a dog that was so big that it was holding a coyote by its ribcage in its mouth. It was on all four, and this dog sees him, and it stops chewing down on the coyote, and it stares at him. And then it did something that he didn't expect. It stood up on its hind legs. And then the dog took a step forward towards him, but he took off running. This thing took chase. Jake, his veteran dog, interfered. He said that this thing grabbed Jake and just hurled it through the woods, and you could hear Jake's body just crashing through trees. And he's like, my dog is done. He's running, and he trips over like a log or something, and he finds himself on his backside facing this thing. And then out of nowhere, his dog again comes in and broadsides this thing and just viciously starts going after it. And he gets up and he starts running. He seriously hears this thing just tearing his dog to pieces.
Oh my god.
Like, he can just hear it just ripping his dog apart. He's calling for Jake. Come on, Jake, come on. Jake's not coming. He runs to the truck where his grandfather is, and his grandfather's like, what's going on? And he's like, just go, just go. He's telling his grandfather what happened. They get out of the woods. His grandfather said to him, listen, if you're going to hunt these woods, you have to understand there are things about this woods that are not normal. And if you can't come to grips with that, you shouldn't be hunting these woods.
Tell him now?
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
Y'all, that last story reminded me of something someone sent me. And it's a dog man. He looks like he's coming out of a cave, and he's holding a dog. And the dog doesn't look uncomfortable, but I'm just like, what is he about to do with that dog? Like, I don't even want to know. But here's the footage right here. I don't know if it's like real or fake. I don't like it. I don't like it whatsoever. Y'all, I really hope that this is the dreaded A word right here, because I do not like that whatsoever. I don't even know if I like really want to show it on here, like, in all honesty. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Poor puppy. And like, to even like, I don't know, like, I hope it's not real, to be honestly, but this looks more like a werewolf because it has no tail and it's got more of, you know, flat-footed human-like legs. But I don't know, somebody who said, I forgot who sent it to me, I'm sorry, but I don't like things like that. I think that's awful. Honestly, it's awful. This one right here is by Cryptid Crossings, and it's talking about the first incident with Dogman on Bray Road. So let's go ahead and give it a watch.
Earliest known sighting of the Beast of Bray Road occurred in 1936. Mark Shackleman, a night watchman in Jefferson, Wisconsin, claimed to have seen a large humanoid figure. He described it as being 6 or 7 feet tall, with the head of a wolf and glowing eyes. The creature reportedly stood on 2 legs like a man. It had long claws and emitted a foul odor. The creature stared at him for a moment and then turned and ran away. Shackleman returned to his post the next night, once again encountering the creature, but this time it didn't run. It stood up, made direct eye contact with Shackleman, and this time it spoke. The creature uttered a single word, Gadara. He felt an overwhelming urge that whatever it was that was standing in front of him was not just an animal, but something far more sinister. The dogman sneered, but did not give chase. Though Shackleman never saw it again after that night, he claimed that for weeks he could still smell that same sickening scent of decay hang in the air.
About 10 feet out, I stopped again.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Gardara? What does that even mean? We have to look that up now. Hold on. Okay, so this is what the word Gardara means. Semitic origins, the word Gardara derives from a Semitic term meaning a fortification or fortified city. Hebrew connection is linked to the biblical Hebrew word Gadara, which translates to wall or enclosing wall. Fortified city. So In some retellings of the Dogman legend, a creature allegedly spoke the word Gardera for Gardera, a night watchman at a cemetery, connecting it with themes of fortified or demonic entity. So was he like a guard to like this city of demons, or like dogmen? I don't know. That's really weird. Fortified city, so it's like that's really strange to me. Like maybe the man was encroaching on like their habitat or something like that, like, and he was the guard of that habitat, that city or whatever. That's really strange. What do you guys think of that? Let me know. So this next one right here is about a dogman in Iraq. Let's give it a listen.
About 10 feet out, I stopped again. Something was crouched just beside the opening. Not in the culvert, but beside it, behind a hump of sand. I hadn't seen it move, but I could make out the silhouette now. Just barely. It was low to the ground, hunched with its arms or maybe legs bent at a strange angle. I thought it might be a hyena at first, but it was too big, and it wasn't shaped right. Its back looked too long. The proportions were wrong. I lifted my rifle and turned on my IR laser to mark it for the tower guys. But the second I did, the shape moved. It didn't bolt or run, it unfolded. That's the best word for it. Like it had been crouching in a position that no living thing should be able to hold. And now it was standing. Except it wasn't fully upright. More like a crouched person ready to sprint. Shoulders were hunched forward, limbs long and lanky. Arms, yes, they were arms, not front legs, hanging down past its knees. Even in the dark, I could see its chest rising and falling fast, like it was excited. It turned its head towards me, slowly. For the rest of this story and more, go to my YouTube channel. Link in bio or description.
Okay, well, that's really, really scary. This one says, something was scratching my car door.
And that's when we saw it. Not clearly. The glass was still fogged, and there was barely any moonlight. But even through the blur, we could make out the shape. Tall, hunched, with limbs that looked too long. It had thick, matted fur and a snout pressed against the glass. Its eyes were reflective like an animal's, but they stared at us with intent. It wasn't a bear. It wasn't a wolf. It was something in between. Something wrong. It stayed there for a moment, nose twitching like it could smell our fear. Then it crawled up the windshield to the roof with a thud that rocked the whole car. I slammed the car into reverse and backed up, tires spinning in the mud. We only made it a few feet before something jerked the back end sideways, like it had grabbed the bumper. The whole vehicle swerved and nearly hit a tree. Haley screamed again and clutched the dash. I floored it. There was a loud scraping sound, like something was dragging along the roof. I could see nothing through the foggy windows. The trail out of the clearing was barely wide enough for my SUV, and it twisted through the woods for nearly a quarter mile before hitting the old logging road. I hit branches, I hit rocks, I didn't care. Whatever that thing was, it was still on the roof. I could feel it moving up there, shifting its weight as the car bounced along. The worst part? It never made a sound. Not a growl, not a howl, just the pressure of its body. The scratch of claws, and the overwhelming sense that something was waiting. Halfway down the trail, something slammed against the windshield again, this time from the front. We both screamed. It was back in front of us, but how? It stood in the beam of the fog light.
Nice jeans.
It's tall, hunched, impossibly fast. The headlights flickered back to life just long enough for us to see its face. It looked like a man with a snout, mouth half open, rows of jagged teeth, eyes sunk deep, almost too human.
That's creepy. Oh my goodness. Y'all think that's a real story? Some of these I don't know if they're real or not, but nonetheless, they all were very, very creepy and very compelling. But now it's time to announce, well, we got to pull the winner of the free merch now. So let's go ahead and get that ready. Okay, guys, so as always, we've got Lady D right here, Princess Diana. She's got a 10 full of memberships in here. Okay, so these are all the members, all of them right there. So what we do is just give it a good shake. This used to have breakfast time tea in it, and it was actually really, really good. So let's go ahead and pull our first runner up, our first winner, who's going to win the whole thing. So I got somebody here. All right, I'm so excited. Let's see. Oh yeah, wait. Y'all probably didn't see me pull that out, so let's put this back in. Sorry. Give it another shake. I did not even open it, so I didn't even see who it was. Okay, so that one didn't count. All right, so I promise you, you're just gonna have to believe me. So I'm reaching in here, I'm grabbing a random one. Let's just shuffle it a little bit. Okay, so I got this one right here. Y'all see me pull it out, hopefully. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta show that I pulled it out. Okay, so Real Truth Ken. Okay, so yeah, he's a great supporter of the channel. So you are the winner. Congratulations, Ken. If you want to, go ahead and send me your info via email. I will throw my email up there for you and put it in the description box as always, so you can send me your details. Now, if you decide to opt out of the free merchandise, I'm going to pull some more. And guys, by the way, this is the merchandise you're going to receive. I'm going to put it up on the screen for you guys so you'll know. So if you decide to opt out, you don't want the merch, or you just don't want to give your personal info out, I totally understand. We're going to go pull another one. So here we go. Here is the runner up. Cat's Eyes 2869. Cat's Eyes 2869. This is the runner up. If the Real Truth Ken does not want or decides to opt out of the free merchandise, okay? So we always pull a third one. So I'm going to go in here and pull a third one for you guys. Okay, so you can see I got a third one out here. It looks like Jonna Lee 1122. So Jonah, or I think it's Jonah or Jonna Lee 1122. That is the third runner up. If these two decide to opt out, and again, here's the merchandise that is going to be free that you'll be receiving. So make sure you send me all of that information, your shirt size, your address, so I can send it to you via Fourth Wall. That is my shop, where my shop is. And yeah, congratulations again, guys. Thank you so very much for watching. I want to give a shout out to all of the members of the channel. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. You really do help this channel so much more than you know. I know I always say that in every video, but it's definitely true. And guys, speaking of merch, if you want your own merch, if you want to buy it, it's always 20% off, okay? Or if you spend over $100, you always get free shipping. So guys, what was your favorite creepy Dogman story today? Let me know in the comments. And have you ever seen a dogman, a Bigfoot, or any other kind of cryptid, or even something paranormal? You can send your encounters to me. You can email me, or you can just put it in the comments. And if you want to send me any kind of scary clips that are cryptid, paranormal, spooky, scary in nature, all of the above, you can send me those. I'll throw my links up there for you for my other socials like TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, all that. You can send me stuff on there, like clips and stories and stuff like that. I'll be glad to receive them. I love it when you guys send me stuff. And Wolfpack, remember, keep your head up, keep your paws up, stay strong, keep going, and make sure you stay tuned to the very next episode. And until then, guys, bye!